माशाल्लाह, जज़ाकल्लाह। मोमिनीन, आपसे दरख्वास्त है कि अगर सारे अहबाब मिल के दरमियान में इकट्ठे होकर बैठ जाएँ, थोड़ा सा मजलिस का माहौल बन जाएगा। जो थोड़े बिखरे बैठे हैं मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद व जिल्फ़, मैं मुल्तमिस हूँ आगा हसन मुज्तबा रिज़वी साहब से कि वो मिंबर पर तशरीफ़ ले आएँ और फ़ज़ाइल मुसाहिब मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद बयान फरमाएँ। पर मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद सलवात।
والصلاة والسلام على أهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين. اللهم كن لوليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. He said, I've done that because of ikhtilaf. Ikhtilaf basically means when you have two opposite things, and these two opposite things, they come together. So if you look at the universe, he says that there are signs for the people who have ulul albab is someone who gets into the essence of things, someone who wants to acquire the essence, someone who's not interested in the shell, but is interested what's within. So if you have, let's say, example would be, you have a walnut. So the shell for an ulul albab is not what they're looking for. They're looking for what is inside of that shell. He says for those people, but they do also have to think. They have to do tafakkur. And thinking is a good thing and a bad thing. If you have a lot of static in your mind, it's not really what is meant here by tafakkur. Static in mind becomes a hurdle, becomes actually illness. When you cannot control your thoughts, basically that person is mentally ill. It might be just the beginning, but they're not well. A well person who has good mental health is someone who's able to control the direction and the amount of their thoughts. If we cannot, that means that we need to do something to become healthy. So tafakkur, someone who does Islamic tafakkur, or perhaps in the light of Quran, is someone who has the ability to direct their thoughts without the static of noise. And then once they look at that, and they say that this creation of yours, this universe of yours, you have not created on falsehood. You've created on the truth. And after they realize that it is created on the truth, then they supplement to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They do dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They understand what we need to ask. Now, any other example, like an orange, egg, whatever. The black, the chadars, the decor that you see. This is the shell. The Nohas that we will recite, the Marcias that we will recite, the Molana Sahib who comes and recites. This is just the shell. It's the aesthetics, it's the decor. We need to become ulul albab. We need to become those people who are concerned not just on the aesthetics, but with the essence. So when we're looking for the essence, even the person who's looking for essence, the aesthetics disappear. They're not concerned about the aesthetics anymore. They're not worried about whether the chadar is straight or not. They're not concerned about any of that. They're looking for that essence. They're seeking that essence. I mean, we are here to commemorate, to remember of those individuals who didn't even have a shelter. Whose roof was torn apart. There were just four walls, or their tents were burnt. Their children were taken. Their chadars were taken. Water was taken. And in return, what was given to them was pain, karbo bala. So someone who actually feels the azab of Imam Hussain is concerned with the essence, is not concerned with the aesthetics. If you get any pain or hardship during this month, remember, if my sisters have, the children with them and they're bothering them, just think, how did the mothers of Karbala deal with those children that were thirsty for 3 days? If your child cries, you have what? Your roof is not leaking. You're not under the sky. You haven't lost everything. Your husbands and your brothers and your fathers are next door. You're not seeing the severed heads of theirs on spears. You have your chadars and you have your hijab. There are no enemies waiting to take your possessions. Imam Hussein's azhar is for those people who actually can see the truth and falsehood. It will develop that ability to be able to see what is the truth and what is falsehood. The tears that our eyes produce is just water. But where this tear comes from is that love and heat inside of the hearts of mu'mineen and mu'minat that will never dissipate. It will never go away. This is part of our tradition. This has been said to us that this heat is never going to go away. As we think about Karbala, we think about the difficulties. It is as if it's just now. If you put your mind and your inner ear, you can still hear the cries of those women. It doesn't seem like over 1400 years have passed. It doesn't even seem that 1 year has passed. It just seems as if time stops and you're there, or your emotions are just as new as when you were born. They don't go away. Even though, say, we're 50, we're 70, but these tears are the same tears that you cried when you were 5, 7, 8, 10, 20, 30 years. They don't go old. Somebody was to come and say, I will take your child, in return, give me this blessing of this love, this heat that you feel for Imam Hussain. कोई शख्स आपसे आके कहे कि ये जो प्यार है तुम्हें इमाम हुसैन के साथ, ये या तो ये मैं ले लूंगा, या तेरा बच्चा ले लूंगा, या तेरा पैसा ले लूंगा, तेरा घर ले लूंगा, दौलत ले लूंगा, तेरा इल्म ले लूंगा, तो तू क्या कुर्बान करने के लिए तैयार है? What are you willing to sacrifice? No, I'm talking about myself, not a good person, not couldn't do my responsibilities as I should have. But somehow it says that I don't want, at that time I will realize what I have, and I will not be willing to give this away for anything else. So this that we have inside is supposed to be purified, it's supposed to be cleaned in this time. But the purpose is not that, like we will do the azan of Imam Hussain, we will cry, we will do all of that. But the purpose is that you become someone that next year we're not doing just the azan as we do about crying and about Noha and Marcia and Molana and Matam, but we will take the revenge of the blood of Imam Hussain. The azan was designed so that you become that. अज़ा का हदफ और मकसद ये सब वसीले हैं, ये सब जो काली चादरें लगी हुई, जो मौलाना साहब को बुलाना, ये सब न्याज, ये सब कुछ वसाइल हैं कि इंसान को उस जगह पे ले आए कि वो इन वसाइल से वो हुर बने, वो ऐसा बने कि अगले साल तक अपने आप को तैयार कर ले। किस चीज़ के लिए? इमाम हुसैन के खून का बदला लेने के लिए। हदफ और मकसद ये नहीं कि हम हर साल आएं और रोएं और कुछ भी ना बने। हदफ ये है कि आप कुछ बने, बदला लें इमाम हुसैन साहब के खून का। The glory of Imam Hussain is not, there are two weaknesses in us that other people manipulate. One weakness is that when it comes to Majlis, we want to see the success of the Majlis about amount of people that have shown up. ये हमारे अंदर कमजोरी है। अज़ा के हवाले से जितना ज्यादा मजमा होता है, हमें ये लगता है कि अब इमाम हुसैन की अज़ा अच्छी हुई, अब ये इमाम हुसैन की शान है कि मजमा बहुत बड़ा। इमाम हुसैन के पास 72 और उनके मदे मुकाबिल 30,000 या उससे ज्यादा। किसकी शान थी फिर? ये शान है इमाम हुसैन की कि भाई जो मिकदार है कि the quantity of people will tell you if the majlis was great or not. We need to change that perception. It's a wrong perception and it has become our weakness and people are manipulating that. Like if a person can gather up a crowd of पाकिस्तान में अगर 3 से 4 लाख का मजमा कोई ले आता है तो कहते हैं जी बहुत बड़ा स्पीकर है, बड़ी शान की अज़ा हुई। क्यों? क्योंकि 3 से 4 लाख बंदा आ गया। This is not the glory of Imam Hussain. It's not the essence. It's the aesthetics. It's the shell. The other weakness we have is that we need to have that sort of, emotional roller coaster. We want that emotional roller coaster of the highs and lows. We're very, we're very excited, and then also in the excitement both ways, crying as well. And बंदा अपने आप को इंट्रोड्यूस कर रहा है, कहता है मैं जब मसाइब पढ़ता हूँ तो बाहर एम्बुलेंस बुलानी पड़ती है. इस बात पे वह फख्र कर. फख्र क्या है उसका कि बाहर एम्बुलेंस आ जाती है, कि मैं इतना लोगों को रुलाता हूं कि लोग मरने वाले हो जाते हैं और लोगों को एम्बुलेंस बुलानी पड़ती है. ये मेरा इफ्तिखार है. ये इमाम हुसैन की शान है. ये हमारी कमजोरी है. हम कहते हैं कि भाई मजलिस तब हुई, तब अज़ा सही हुई जब बहुत ज्यादा लोगों ने गिरिया किया, या बहुत ज्यादा नारे लगे, या बहुत ज्यादा गिरिया किया. ये दो वीकनेस, एक मजमा और एक ये नारे और रोना, इसको फिर मैनिपुलेट किया जाता है हर साल. And people manipulate that. The speakers, they will manipulate that. So-called scholars, they will manipulate that. They will get, the name will become such that because of that name, 300, 400,000 people will show up for the majlis. And then once they have shown up, then the amount of cries and the amount of the voice of the naras will determine that it was a successful Muharram or it was not. कामयाब अशरा था या नहीं था. और फिर वो मौलवी भी जो है, अगर वो 2.5 लाख ले रहा है, 3 लाख ले रहा है, वो फिर कहेगा कि जी मैं, उसने अपना जो क्राइटेरिया बनाया हुआ कि जी अब मैं सक्सेसफुल मौलवी हूँ, क्योंकि मेरा रेट जो है, my rate is like £1,000 an hour, or people are willing to give one person for 2 nights $48,000. He recites Nohas. ये नहीं है हमारा म्यार. हमारा म्यार है कि अगर एक बंदा भी होड़ बनता है. नहीं, इमाम हुसैन की शान इंसान को जगाने में है, सुलाने में नहीं. The glory of Imam Hussain is in waking people up, not putting them to sleep. The reason why Imam did the revolution that he did was to wake people up. The ones that were sleeping, to wake them up. So that they realize that there is truth and there is falsehood. What do we do every year? We put people back to sleep. Instead of going forward, we go 10 steps back. Especially now in the social media, somebody is going to bring some controversy. Somebody is going to say something controversial. Something like that is going to happen, and all of our focus and energy is going to be diverted towards that controversy, and we're going to be fighting with each other, arguing with each other, insulting each other, telling the other person you're nobody, or this, that, the other, instead of going forward. इमाम हुसैन की शान मजमे में नहीं है. इमाम हुसैन की शान इसमें नहीं. इमाम हुसैन की शान ये है कि अगर उनके हदफ और मकसद को समझ के कोई शख्स हुसैनी बन जाए तो ये इमाम हुसैन की शान है. तो हमें फर्श आज़ा से हुसैनी बनना है, वो इमाम की शान है. एस्थेटिक्स नहीं है. ठीक है. और तीसरी जो, जैसे मैंने अर्ज किया कि अपना भी अंदर देखें कि जब आप इस दरवाजे के अंदर आए और फिर जब बाहर जाएंगे तो आप में क्या तब्दीली आई. You need to look at yourself, like what change came in you when you entered into the door, what you were, and when you go out, what you are. Every day, try to measure that change. And if the change is not there, then try to do something of ants. Right? 240 quadrillion ants on the planet. And as the research goes on and on and on, things they're discovering about ants that, you know, when you see it, you say, you feel smaller than the ant. If you were as powerful as the ant, you could lift up a Boeing, like an aeroplane. The amount of weight that it's able to lift, if you were as strong as an ant, you'd be able to lift a plane. No exaggeration. 5,000 times more it can lift. There's a certain method of communication that they have which is not chemical based. They say it's even on vibrational sort of electromagnetic field way that they connect with each other. Has become one source, one unit. They're unified in that one cause. Okay? Unified in one cause. We have the cause of Imam Hussain Salam. But in the name of Azza of Imam Hussain Salam, we have become the most divided. है या नहीं? अज़ा के नाम पे हम हमारे दरमियान में मसाइल है ना. ऐसे ही होता है ना, अज़ा को इस्तेमाल करते हैं, तुम मुतहज्जिर हो, तुम मलंग हो, तुम इस्लाम को एक नई जिंदगी देना. ये सारे अल्फाज हैं, लफ्फाजी करते हैं. और वो इतना आली हदफ जो है, बजाय इसके कि वो हमें एक करे, हम क्या हो रहे हैं? The ants, they unite on one thing and they become one unit. There's no miscommunication, no nothing. They know exactly what to do. So when when you start actually looking at yourself, you'll realize that you can about this topic. I gave you the example of ants. It is still continuing. Far be it that we say that the topic of Karbala, full stop. That we've understood every single thing that there is to understand in those 10 days or in our lifetime. Far be it. But we had to give some name to it on the flyer, of course. Again. So we had to come up with something. In the direction that we're going to go is we're going to try to see what was the vision of Imam Hussain and his companions and how to develop that. Because in Karbala there was a clash of two worldviews. One worldview was of the enemies of Imam Hussain, the other worldview was of Imam Hussain and his companions. And because of these two worldviews, the clash that happened in Karbala that we are commemorating. So we want to make sure that our worldview is the worldview of Imam Hussain and his companions and not his enemies. The language, I will speak, inshallah, in Urdu as well, in English as well, and whatever, as much as I can. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses me. But you see, the purpose of knowledge, the purpose of language. Have you ever thought about why we have language? किसी ने कभी सोचा कि ये हमने उर्दू ज़बान, पंजाबी, इंग्लिश, फारसी, कोरियन, जापानीज, चाइनीज, German, French. What is the purpose of a language? Communication, deliver a message. Anything else? Understanding? Huh? Sorry? Okay. So that would be the closer, but it is to express what is inside. Thoughts are still the medium, but it is actually to express what's inside to another person so that they see what you see. They feel what you feel. They know what you know. They do what you do, all of that is inside, to project that we need a language. हमें ज़बान की ज़रूरत है. माफ़ी नफ्स, माफ़ी सदूर, ये सारा कुछ जो हमारे अंदर है, उसको बाहर लाने के लिए दूसरे के लिए इंसान के पास ये ज़बान है, लैंग्वेज है. तो ज़बान का मकसद क्या है कि अब ये जो मैं आपसे बात कर रहा हूँ ना, ये बातों का मकसद ये है कि जो मेरे अंदर है वो आपके सामने जाहिर हो जाए. जब जाहिर होगा तो उस आपके अंदर भी एक चीज़ पैदा होगी. उस चीज़ जो पैदा होगी आप उसको एनालाइज करेंगे, करने के बाद कहेंगे मसलन हसन ये है या हसन वो है, हसन ऐसा है या वैसा है, ये मतलब ऐसा है वैसा है, ये मैं समझा ये नहीं समझा. So once I have spoken, I'm basically projecting what is inside to you. You will take those words, process it inside, come to a conclusion, to feel my emotions, to feel my thoughts, to feel what I'm trying to project. And then from there, that whatever I have projected, you will also receive. And in that sense, my goal is to make you what I am that you are. To make you my photocopy. यानी ज़बान का क्या हो गया कि भाई मैं जो हूँ ना, मैं आपको वैसा बनाना चाहता हूँ. क्योंकि मेरे जो अंदर है वो मैं बाहर ज़बान से आपको बता रहा हूँ. जब आपके पास आएगी, जब आप उन बातों को समझेंगे तो आप बन कैसे जाएंगे? मेरे जैसे. और ये सबसे बड़ी इंसान का मुगालता है कि वो दूसरा उस जैसा बन जाएगा. This is the biggest mistake, blunder that we have when we use language. We think the other person is going to become that you are, meaning will understand it exactly how you understand, feel exactly how you feel, know or see exactly how you know and see. He'll become a photocopy of you, a clone. Not clone, the other clone. A clone of you. And the whole of us, we're all trying to make others as our clones. And when the cloning doesn't happen, what do we get? Upset. I said this. When, for example, husband and wife are fighting, I never said this. No, you said it. No, I didn't say that. Well, you did say that. No, I didn't. But you meant it. But I didn't say it. But you meant it, didn't you? Well, I didn't say it when if I said it, okay, fine. But no, but you meant it. So to express what we are from inside, outside we need language. But as long as you understand this, that you will never make anyone, anybody your clone. Nobody will become like you. Nobody will understand exactly like you. Nobody will feel exactly like you. Then the problem of our fights and miscommunication and ikhtilaf and a lot of the things will subside. Like our houses, there's a lot of problems. Like we have our families are kind of broken. A husband and wife fighting, abusing each other verbally, physically. Parents and children, same thing. जब आप खानुम से बात करें, वो ऐसे आपको वो बताएगी कि भाई ये मुझे मारता भी है, ये भी करता है, वो भी करता है, मैं सारा कुछ करती हूँ फिर भी वो करता है मेरे साथ. जब आप आगा से बात करेंगे, वो कहेंगे भाई इससे ज़्यादा जो है बुरी औरत ही नहीं है इस दुनिया में, इसने ये किया, इसने वो किया, इसने. और एक छत के नीचे रहते हैं. तो he projected, because language that he used, Arabic that he used, was to project what he was feeling inside, what he thought of the world, what he thought, what is right and wrong, what is truth and falsehood. So that by having that, we get an idea and we work on that to develop the same uh, definitions and the same way of looking at the world, so that we don't develop the worldview of his enemies, but we develop the worldview of his companions. Okay, now? For that purpose, there is a. You can also, if you like, you can go and इमाम हुसैन सल्लल्लाहु के अशार हैं जो उन्होंने मुख्तलिफ मौक़ों पे कहें. और शेर का होता है ये कि जब आप शेर या नसर में जो फ़र्क होता है, शेर के अंदर आप जज्बात को ज़्यादा अच्छी तरह से मुंतकिल कर सकते हैं बेनिस्बत नसर. जी. तो इमाम हुसैन सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के अशार मुख्तलिफ जगहों पे जो उन्होंने कहे, वो उस किताब के अंदर हैं. इंग्लिश में भी वो ट्रांसलेट हुए हैं. अब उसकी जो बलागत है या जो जो अरबी के हवाले से, जो अदबियात के हवाले से है, वो ज़ाहिर है हमारा यहाँ पे मकसद नहीं है कि उसके हवाले से बात करें, क्योंकि अभी हमें यानी वो जो अदीब हैं या जो इस काम के जो हसरतुस्लाम के अंदर हैं, हमारा मकसद ये होगा कि हमें एक आइडिया आ जाए उन अशार को हाँ, सुन के या पढ़ के या समझ के. ठीक है. तो इंशाल्लाह उसको हम थोड़ा सा एक खाके के लिए रखेंगे. बाकी अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला जो तौफीक दे. मिंबर जो है वो कोई इल्म के इजहार के लिए नहीं है, कोई पॉलिटिक्स के लिए नहीं है, अपनी शोहरत के लिए नहीं है. मिंबर की जो जगह है, जो उसका हक है, वो मासूम के अलावा कोई अदा नहीं कर सकता. और हमारे लिए जो मुश्किल है वो ये कि जो जिनकी ये जगह है, उनको हमारी हरकतों ने, हमारे किरदारों ने, हमारे अमाल ने रोका हुआ है. और मजबूरी में हमें इस बात को, इस काम को करना पड़ रहा है. वल्ला ये जगह गैर मासूम की नहीं है. ऐसी कोशिश भी करते हैं कि बैठे वहाँ पे जहाँ पे रसूल के कदम थे, और अगर इससे भी अगर नीचे जगह हो तो वहाँ पे भी बंदा बैठते हुए डरेगा. तो हमारा मकसद ये नहीं है. हम सिर्फ कोशिश करेंगे इंशाल्लाह, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू तआला जो तौफीक देगा. आप एक सलवात पढ़ें तो इंशाल्लाह. So I would suggest, like, to my brothers and to my sisters, like, get the PDF, and so you can also kind of follow. Um, there is a different table of contents. The table of contents are based on the topic, on a specific topic that Imam Hussain Sassam has given that poetry or poem. So the first one, we're just going to go in sequence, not see how far we can go. Is about he has a poem about the special book that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has. Okay, the special book meaning the book that we all are going to read. Okay, and the special book here, which we're talking about, is not Quran. The special book here that he's talking about is the book of our deeds. यानी अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला जब हम उसके सामने हाजिर होंगे, when we are in front of him, there will be an account of our life that has been written by the angels. Then there is an account of our lives that we have written by our own hands. Okay. They say that in one part of the night, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala transfers you over to him, जब आप सोते हैं तो अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला ये तवफ़ा का जो लफ्ज़ है वो ट्रांसफ़र यानी कंप्लीट ट्रांसफ़र, अल्लाह सुब्हानहू व तआला के हम पास चले जाते हैं. सोना यानी इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि राजिऊन. सोते हैं जब हम, तो वो जो छोटी मौत, बहन है मौत, कज़न मौत, वो यही है. So when you go to sleep, you are actually now present in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you can be judged. And when we go to sleep, in one portion of the night we actually go and we write our own journal account of what we did during the day. आप अपने हाथ से उस किताब में लिखते हैं कि आपने किया क्या है, खुद लिखते हैं, ठीक है, और वो वाली किताब आपको दिखाई जाएगी. On the day of judgment, you will see a journal, an account in which you yourself have written every single detail of what you did during that day. So one book is the angels have written it, right? The other is you have written it. The third is that there will be witnesses that are going to be brought, and the witnesses are among you, are your body 24/7. So the witness is eyes, this whole body. You will bear witness against who? जिस पेट को इतनी प्यार और मोहब्बत से आपने पाला है ना, उसके अंदर बड़ी अच्छी अच्छी बिरयानियाँ और बोटियाँ और ये सारा कुछ जो डाला है ना, जिस पेट का इतना ख्याल रखा है, जिस सेहत के पीछे आप हज़ारों पाउंड खर्च देते हैं, अब डॉक्टरों के चक्कर लगाते हैं, सारा कुछ, जिन घुटनों की सर्जरी करवा के, वो सर्जरी कराने के बाद भी वो सिर्फ विटनेस दे सकते